Hey everyone, welcome back to part 3 of designing Tarkir Dragonfall. In this video, we'll be continuing to find some reprints to include in this set. I'll also be developing the red-blue draft archetype for this set based around a new type of artifact token. First up, we have some reprints that I actually managed to find new art for as well. First we have the card Displace, which is a blink spell for 3 mana in blue that allows you to exile up to 2 creatures you control, then return them to the battlefield right away. I have some ideas for later as to why blink effects might be even better than usual in Tarkir Dragonfall, but already it works well for getting helpful enters the battlefield effects multiple times or protecting creatures from removal. Next we have Doomed Dissenter. I don't know why, but I've just always liked this card more than I should for a random common creature that creates a token when it dies. It's been printed on Amonkhet and Innistrad in the past, and Tarkir is also playing with some harsh systems of justice, as well as zombies, so it felt like a great reprint here. Also, it's one more card at common rarity that hints at the story of the set, the peoples of Tarkir slowly rising up against their draconic oppressors, even if those people may not all survive. There are a few more cards that seem like good includes in the set, but I have not replaced the art on them, at least not yet. Humble Defector is a classic card from Tarkir that also serves the same storytelling purposes as Doomed Dissenter. Shifting Loyalties does much the same, but using a more powerful effect that allows you to swap a permanent with your opponent. So that's going to stay an uncommon card for now. Also, Tarkir offers an opportunity to reprint a lot of the Naga creatures in Magic's history that have since been errataed to be snakes. Wizards of the Coast has done this a few times recently with types like Naga and Viashino, but has not really reprinted a lot of these cards in paper yet, so if you have any cards in your collection from Amonkhet, Tarkir, or even Baldur's Gate, you might have some cards that say Naga but are actually snakes now. Because of this, Tarkir Dragonfall would be a good place to include some neat reprints of cards like Slitherblade and Naga Oracle. Now on to a new draft archetype for the colors blue and red. If you have ever drafted Dragons of Tarkir, you might be familiar with the card Vial of Dragonfire. It's a common artifact that costs 2 mana and has an activated ability that also costs 2 mana, tapping and sacrificing the vial in order to deal 2 damage to a creature. I decided to use this artifact as the basis for a new artifact token, the Vial token, which has the same ability. However, to make sure that this token isn't too broken, I plan to have every card that creates Vial tokens have them enter tapped, so you should have to wait a turn to activate them, similar to how the Power Stone tokens in the Brothers' War were designed. Our signpost uncommon for this color pair is Renowned Glassblowers. This creature is a 1/3 Dragon Elf Artificer for 3 mana in blue and red. Side note, I know there aren't any elves native to Tarkir, but this is the only art I could find that fit the theme, and plus Omen Paths exist now, so just pretend this is an elf from Eldraine or Avishkar that has decided to travel to Tarkir. When this creature enters, create a tapped Vial token. It also has an activated ability to tap the creature and add 2 colorless mana, which can be spent only to cast artifact spells or activate the abilities of artifacts, such as the Vial token you just created. Since the Vial tokens are based off of Vial of Dragonfire, I decided that the perfect card to inspire our signpost uncommon would be Renowned Weaponsmith. Next up is Lightning in a Bottle, a rare instant that costs 1 generic and 2 red mana and says, copy target instant or sorcery spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. If a red spell was copied this way, create a tapped Vial token. I'm not certain just how strong this spell will be, but I love the flavor of absorbing your opponent's magical attacks and storing some of it in a glass vial for later use. Mono blue doesn't typically get access to direct damage effects, so in order to synergize blue cards with the Vial archetype, I had to get creative. I decided that the way to do that is to have at least one card that would let you untap your Vial tokens and use them earlier than expected. So I made this card, Middle Scale Slicer. It's a 1/4 artifact creature for 4 mana that has Vigilance, and whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you can tap or untap target token. The way the ability is worded, it can untap your Vial tokens, tap an opponent's Vial token if they haven't activated it right away, or untap or tap a random creature token one of you has. Finally, we have another cool reference to an older card, but this time not from Tarkir, but way earlier in Magic's history. Bottle Gnomes is a artifact creature from all the way back in Tempest. Given the similar aesthetic and mechanical designs between Bottle Gnomes and these tokens I've designed, I decided to pay homage to cards like this by making Vile Gnomes, a 3-mana colorless artifact creature that has 1 power, 3 toughness, and the same activated ability that all the Vile tokens have. It doesn't come into play tapped like those tokens do, but since it's a creature, it has Summoning Sickness this turn, and therefore can't activate its tap ability right away anyway. So that's the first of our enemy color pair archetypes figured out. What do you think of it, and the reprints that I mentioned in this video? What kinds of cards should I design next, and what archetypes? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.